Recording. Hi, Ibtisam.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Hi, Scarlett. Hi, Hashim. Hi, Sophia.
Hi.
How are you both? How are you all?
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, Future Sharks.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Sophia.
How is everyone? Are you all excited?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I don't think you're as excited as Mr. Feltham and I.
Oh my goodness, we are so excited. We're going to be such a good Year 6 class, aren't we?
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Were you shocked? Or were you expecting it?
I expected it.
You thought you were expecting, but I bet you didn't expect Miss Layton to be with us.
No. No.
That was a nice little surprise, wasn't it?
It was a surprise for us, wasn't it, Mr. Feltham? We weren't.
Oh my goodness,
either.
when I found out that Miss Layton was going to come to Year 6, I was so excited, guys, honestly. We're going to have so much fun.
We are.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Ruby's mum.
Hi. Are you okay, Ruby?
Yeah.
You excited for Year 6?
Yeah.
Good. We are very excited. Miss Layton and I have already been sitting down, planning lots of exciting things, haven't we, Miss Layton?
We have. We are like beyond excited. I can't stop looking at shark things online. All
I know.
is looking at like pictures of sharks. I think there's something wrong with it.
Hi, Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina.
Hi, everyone.
Sabrina's going to be the TA, yay! Which is exciting, isn't
Hello
it?
guys,
Hi, Lena.
how are you?
Good. Good.
Hi, Lena. Lena, I saw you at school, was it a couple of days ago? And it was so hard to keep it a secret, so I was like, I'm going to be her teacher next year.
I know. I found that so hard when I saw Lena as well. And I was like, oh, I want to tell her so badly that I'm going to be in front of the teachers. And it was so hard to keep it to myself. Well, she's gone.
I wanted to. How has everybody been during lockdown? Have you all been okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Really bored, but okay.
Little bored, yeah. It does get a little boring, doesn't it? Are you excited to go back to school in September?
Yeah.
It's been very strange because I've been at school with the Year 6s at the moment, and Sabrina's been at school with us as well. So it's been very strange because school's been so quiet without everybody.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby.
Surprise.
How are you, Ruby?
She's not looking.
Oh, this is a good turnout to say there's less children in Year 5 than in Year 6 at the moment. Sometimes, the other day I did a Zoom with my Year 6s, and I think only 5 of them turned up out of 50.
No.
I know. They actually, in fairness though, Sabrina, we had a good turnout today, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Did you?
Although I will say that the Lions are better at turning up than the Sharks, which is a little bit annoying. But now it's only going to be the Sharks in Year 6, so we can be the best Sharks ever.
Yes, we will be the best sharks ever.
Who's excited to be a shark? I'm so excited to be a shark again.
I've not been a shark before. But
The Sharks was new actually this year.
I've been in
Say that again, Miss Layton.
with these children. I've been in Bluebells with them, in Meerkats, and now in Sharks.
In the
I've never had a
Sharks
class in
class.
years. I can't get away
Oh
from
my
you
goodness, 3 years. That's a long time. It's a good job Miss Layton's a really nice teacher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly. Hi, is that Bashara?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Bashara.
Hi, Bashara. Welcome to Year 6 Sharks.
Miss Layton.
Yes, darling.
What about assembly? When we get together, we have to be 2 meters apart from each other.
We're going to have a big talk in a minute about everything that's going to happen next year, everything that we know. We've got a little presentation slide to go, some slides to go through, and we'll explain everything that we know so far for next year. So
Yeah. I know actually that today Miss Schooneman met up with all of the senior leaders at school to have a big chat about what's happening in September, and that meeting apparently went on for a good few hours. So they'll have a solid placing plan now, I'm sure, that we'll be able to share with you over the next week or so. So watch this space.
Right, we'll just wait 2 minutes before we start, if that's okay, Mr. Felton.
That sounds good, Miss Layton.
Layton, I actually didn't think that you'd be our teacher.
Yeah, nice surprise.
That was a nice surprise, a really nice surprise. Was anybody expecting that?
Yeah, I wasn't.
Were you? Some of you were expecting
I
that.
thought, like a long time ago, I thought maybe I would be a Year 6 teacher, but then more recently I was like, oh no, there's no way I'm going to be your Year 6 teacher. So I was kind of preparing you all that I wasn't going to be your teacher, because we had thought, yeah, maybe I would be. And then I was like, oh, I need to put them off this idea. No. But it worked quite well.
Really well. And Miss Layton, have you told them about what else you're doing? Or are you going to keep that secret?
We'll tell them that during the slideshow.
Oh, that's exciting to
start it.
find out.
Shall I share
Yeah,
my
let's
screen?
start.
Right, guys. So I've made a presentation because it kind of feels like so long since I've done a slideshow. So can you all see our screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Felton, you can start.
Okay, so guys, welcome to the Sharks class. In the Sharks class, we're going to have myself, Mr. Felton, as your Year 6 teacher. And you guys are actually going to be my 4th ever class. So I haven't taught that many classes because I repeated a lot of classes when I moved to Year 6. So you guys are only my 4th class that I've taught, which I'm really excited about. Obviously, we've got Miss Layton with us on a Monday and a Tuesday. We have the amazing Sabrina, and I'll tell you about Sabrina. Everybody was wanting Sabrina to be their TA, and we weren't, so she's a shark now. And then we also have the amazing Maria with us, which is really nice. And we're the Sharks. So I think the Sharks is such a great animal to be. Well, a great kind of ocean creature.
It is. Thanks, Mr. Felton. Guys, Maria's going to be working with Samuel mainly, but she'll be there with us every day instead of 2 different people. So if you've got any questions as we're going through, you could either just keep them in your head or you could write them down in the chat box down here and then we'll go through them at the end, okay? Right. Oh, I'm really excited for this slide. So Mr. Felton's already said who our new teachers are. When will we be together, Mr. Felton? When will you be in class?
Well, I will literally be in class all the time, apart from a Monday afternoon when I'm going to take PPA, and you'll just have Miss Layton during that time. And Miss Layton, I believe, is going to be teaching you science over the year. So on a Monday afternoon, you're going to be able to do science. So yeah, we're going to be together. And do you know what's quite nice this year? Usually in Year 6, there's setting groups, but we're not going to be doing that this year. We're all going to be together all of the time, which I think is really, really nice.
Definitely. I'm going to be with you all on Monday and Tuesday because on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, I'm going to be working at Queen's Manor just to mix it up. So I'm going to be with you on Monday and Tuesday, and I'll be covering Mr. Felton's PPA, and we'll be doing science, as he just said. But then, yeah, Miss Felton and I will be teaching together in the same class, which is really exciting because it means we've got 2 teachers and we've got Sabrina and Maria as well. So it's going to be busy.
Yeah. I know. I'm really excited because this year I've literally been on my own like most of the day. So it'd be so nice to have a classroom full of adults.
Yeah.
Where will we be? We're going to be in the classroom that I'm in currently. So that will be your new classroom, and you'll have the cupboards kind of like closest to my door.
Cool.
So maybe what will?
Oh, sorry.
Go on, Miss Layton.
No,
go on. Oh no. I was going to move on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
You have something to say. So what will be the same? So what will be the same is you're all going to be with each other. What else is going to be the same, Miss Layton? You know them, what they've been up to in Year 5.
lots of things will be the same, but I know one of you's already asked already about changes next year, like assemblies and things. So at the minute, we're thinking that when we come back together, we will be in a bubble all together. That's what the classes are going to be called, like little bubbles. Our bubble's not allowed to bump into any other class. So it might mean that we come to school at a different time, and we might finish at a different time to the other classes. It might mean that we have different lunches to the other classes, different playtimes, and it might mean that we can't have things like assemblies at the minute because we can't be bumping into each other. We have to just stay in our little group together, which will be very strange because we're always wandering around doing bits and bobs at school, but that will be slightly different, I think, in September. And as soon as we know exactly what will be happening for our class, we will let you guys know. So we might have to get in touch with you over the summer holidays. So make sure your parents are checking their emails, and we can put anything on the website as well for you.
Just to add to that, something that will be different as well is that just because of kind of like coronavirus and things, we're not going to be sharing our resources with each other. So I know that last year we all kind of brought things from that list and like bulked them together and all shared. I think it's just all the stationery, yeah. So it's going to be kind of like your responsibility to bring like your own pencils, your pens. Miss Layton, I know, sent you a stationery list today, so have a look at that. And Miss Layton and I thought it'd be nice if you could all buy your own nice pencil cases. I always love looking at the stationery stuff in Sainsbury's. I know they've got lots of nice things. And also, something that's going to be a little bit different is that we want you guys to buy a diary, because we're going to be doing homework on different days to kind of get you ready for secondary school. So everyone needs to come to school on the first day with a diary, okay?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe we're thinking about secondary schools already. Isn't that just
crazy,
guys?
Oh, it comes around so quickly.
It does very fast.
Very, very fast. So we, like Miss Felton said, we've already sat down and started thinking about what we might learn this year. And so we're going to do all the normal subjects. We've got some nice topics as well. These two topics we were going to do these two in year 5, and because we didn't get to do them, I spoke to Miss Schooneman and said, would we be able to kind of move them up to year 6 and tweak them a little bit so they're more year 6 appropriate, because they're such good topics. So we're going to be borrowing these from year 5. And Mr. Veldon?
And so in year 6, 2 topics that the children always love is we do a World War II topic. So we learn all about World War II, and we link that to everything. We do some really nice art projects with World War II. We might change things up again this year though. So that's one project that one topic that we're going to look at. And then the other one is so exciting. It's all about natural disasters. And how natural disasters happen, the consequences of them. We do some art on it, we do computing on it, so lots of exciting things ahead.
Oh my goodness, so excited. More questions. What about SATs, Feltham?
So SATs, right now we don't know what's going to happen. So obviously this year, the year 6 has worked extremely hard. And the SATs were cancelled in May. We're not sure yet what's going to be happening. We don't know if they're going to be going ahead, whether they're going to be cancelled, we're not sure. However, I think what's probably best for the moment is to just assume that they're going ahead until we're told otherwise. So as it stands, we need to just kind of be thinking, okay, SAT's going to be happening in May. We need to prepare ourselves for them. And if we get told something else, then that will be fine as well. But I think we need to go with kind of an understanding that it could happen. So let's just prepare for that.
Definitely. And we need to, because we've missed so much of year 5, it's really important that we work extra hard when we come back in year 6. All the other classes, for example, year 3 are going to come back, and they've got year 4, year 5, and year 6 to catch up. But we've only got 1 year now to catch up on all that year 5 that we've missed, although you've been working really hard with your home learning, so hopefully there won't be too many gaps. But we need to make sure we work really hard, not just for our SATs, but also so you're really prepared and ready to move up to high school, which is
Sure.
also really important. Mr. Felton and I have been talking about school journey as well. Usually the year sixes go on school journey in September, but unsurprisingly, we won't be able to go on to school journey in September. We've been speaking to Helen and Miss Schooneman and Miss Boone about it, and we just don't know what's going to happen with any school trips at the minute. So nothing will happen in September for sure, but maybe we can start organising some trips and visits for after Christmas and more in the summer.
And also, if it turned out that we weren't able to go on school journey, we'd definitely do something to kind of compensate for that. And so we'd have like a week in school, we'd make like a really, really special week in school where we didn't really have to do like our usual lessons. We can go on lots of trips. So even if
I remember doing
even if we didn't get to go away, then we'd still do something really special that you could remember.
Sounds good. Mr. Felton.
Very. So, guys, as you know, in year 6, you are going to be the top of the school. You are going to be the oldest children in the school, and you are going to be the children that everybody else looks up to. So we have the highest expectations of year 6. So not just kind of in terms of behaviour, but we also expect like children working extremely hard during lessons and just going up and beyond what they should be doing. Okay, we want this year group to be the best year 6s that the school has ever had. So we just need to make sure that we're doing everything that we should be all the time and that we're amazing role models.
You guys are fantastic role models anyway. Like literally, you're so good. And I'm really, part of the reason I'm so excited to go to year 6 with you all is because I know how amazing you're going to be. And I know you're already doing all the right things. So it's going to be a breeze. We don't even need to really think about this one, Mr. Felton, because they're really good.
This one, actually, this year group is one of the year groups that I've been most excited to teach in year 6, because I've just seen how amazing you are in school. So I'm really looking forward to you guys being the year 6s next year.
For sure. Which brings us nicely to roles and responsibilities. So you all know that we have head boy and head girl. We've got Sahel and Deja this year. We also have lots of prefects and sports captains. Miss Felton and I have been talking about these roles for next year. So next year, I think there will be a head boy and a head girl. There'll be 4 sports captains and maybe 4 prefects, and there'll be a head buddy as well. Is that right, Mr. Felton?
Yeah, that's correct.
So there won't be a job for everybody. So if you would like one of these roles, then you need to work on your application over the summer. These are really, really important roles. These roles, I mean, they're all really important and they look really good on your applications to high school as well. Imagine saying that you're a prefect in year 6 on your high school application. It looks really good and it gives you the chance to work with Miss Schooneman and Miss Boone and make decisions across the school. You're involved in assemblies, you're involved in, welcoming guests and visitors to school. They're all really important roles. The sports captains do loads for sports day and work closely with Miss M, making sure all the resources are looked after as well. So usually, Miss Felton, the children write their speech over the summer.
Yeah, that's correct. So over the summer, you guys need to think about writing a speech, because within the first couple of weeks of being back, you will need to do this speech in front of all of your classmates, all of the year 6 staff, in front of Helen, Miss Boone and Miss Schooneman, okay? And so what will happen is you'll do your speech and then a decision will be made as to who will get that responsibility. You can also, in your speech, put forward the idea that you want to apply for more than one responsibility. So for example, if you want to go for head girl or head boy, that's great, but then you also need to let us know what other responsibilities you would be interested in. And if, for example, that you were interested in being a sports captain, in your speech you need to say, I'm interested in being a sports captain.
That would be a good
When
thing to
you
start your speech with. That would be a good thing to start with, guys. Tell us what you're applying for.
And also, if you are applying to be sports captain, you need to say in your speech what colour team you're on. Okay, so include that in your speech as well. So you need to think of 3-4 reasons why you think you would be a good leader, and maybe some examples of things that you've done in the past where you've gained experience to be able to fulfill this role to the best potential. Okay.
This is like a persuasive speech as well. So think of all those persuasive techniques we've looked at this year and think how you're really going to persuade Mr. Gruneman that you're the best. I'll put all this on our website for you over the summer, and think about those A-Forest things as well that we've talked about. I'll stick that on there to help you as well. I know you're really good at persuading people with your writing. Think about that, those eco letters we wrote, persuading people to be more green.
Oh, they sound exciting, Miss
You've done a really
Layton.
good job on this. Oh, I've got a copy to show you actually, Mr. Felton.
Oh, I'd love to see them.
They were fantastic. So that's really exciting. I've got some ideas in my head, Mr. Feltham, who I think would make great head boys and head girls and prefects. But
Brilliant.
it's right that the children vote. We all have a vote at the end.
I'm not sure what we're going to do this year. I think we need to talk about that. But usually the children have voted, but I don't know if it might change this year.
Okay, cool. Interesting. If you've got any questions, guys, put them in the chat box, remember. Ooh. Okay, so we thought we'd have a little bit of talking now from you guys who've done loads of listening. Always when you go to a new class, there are always things you're excited for and always things you're worried about. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to have a think about something you're excited for. And you might have something that you're a bit worried about as well. I want you to drop it into the chat box. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that, not 3 minutes. If you want to type them into the chat box, you can do. And then we'll have a little look together. And have a little chat before finishing our presentation. Let me open the chat. Let's have a look at these questions. Can you all see the chat box?
Some really interesting questions, Miss Layton, yeah. Ruby J has quite a lot of questions.
Good questions, that's good. Oh. Right, I'm going to say something I'm excited for.
I will do it as well.
Teachers, you can do it as well, yeah. I'm a little bit worried about... Well, Ruby's excited for everything.
Miss Layton, don't worry, I'm a little untidy as well sometimes.
Thought you'd like that one. Oh, I'm excited for the Tudors as well, Scarlett. I love the Tudors. So good. Oh. Anyone else? Is anyone still going? Sophia's typing, you can see the concentration. Oh, I'm really excited to learn about World War II. Mr. Feltham, Ruby F is really into history.
Really?
And she's...
Oh, well, you're absolutely going to love World War II. There's so many interesting things.
Yeah. I took down our, our independent learning display. I took down all the bits and bobs of work you've been doing at home whilst we were at school the other day. And found so much of Ruby's independent learning. It's really nice to look at.
Oh, well done.
We're all some of us a little bit worried about not seeing other
secondary
children.
school. Secondary school is always something that kind of children are worried about when they join year 6. But we do so much to prepare you. So like, all the year 6ers now are really excited to go to secondary school.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm going to miss them. But I miss all my year 6ers that go.
Yeah. That's normal, guys. that's completely normal to be worried about secondary school. But like Mr. Felton said, we'll do loads and loads and loads of prep for it. You'll be really, by this time next year, you'll be raring to go to secondary school. You'll be completely ready. And
It probably seems, sorry, Miss Layton, it probably seems quite daunting to think about it now because you're only in year 5 still, but by the time that you get towards the end of year 6, you're feeling yourself a lot more grown up. You do lots of growing in year 6 and you'll feel ready.
Yeah. Lots of people worried about SATs. We are going to have to work hard, guys, to catch up, aren't we? Whether we have our SATs or not, we're still going to have to work hard. But who can make sure you're working hard? You guys, you're in charge of yourself, and you need to make sure you have a really good rest over the summer and you're raring to go in September and you've got the right attitude. And guys,
like SATs also, you need to remember, aren't the be all and end all. Like, as long as I think it doesn't matter how you do in a test. What's most important is that you're working hard and you're making good progress. That's always the most important thing.
Definitely.
So you don't need to be worried about SATs.
I remember
as long as you're working hard.
I remember being your year 2 teacher. And do you remember doing your SATs in year 2? You remember?
Yeah.
And they were just as serious as the year 6 ones. And actually, you all absolutely loved doing your SATs in year 2. And it was like, oh, I'm going to go do my maths SATs now. And we all went and sat in the library. Do you remember how horrible the library was? We went and sat in the library at that horrible table.
Oh, the purple library.
Oh, it was awful. And you all got on and you were like, loving life. It's a little bit more serious than the year 2 ones. But literally, like, by the time we do our SATs, you'll be so prepared. You'll be like, come on, I'm going to smash this SATs paper. Yes, I can read, and I'm going to show everyone how good I am. And
we do so much, guys, that like by the time it comes, you'll be so used to like doing like little bits like that and like seeing kind of questions that would be asked in SATs that it's not going to be a shock to you. You'd just be like, oh, I've done this a million times and I already know what to do anyway because I've been learning it in class.
Exactly.
So you don't need to worry about SATs.
All right, I'm just going to go back to sharing my screen and we will just finish off our presentation, Mr. Feltham. Lots of worries, but lots and lots of exciting things. And I just can't wait. So, what do we need to do now? Really important. Keep reading over the summer. Keep reading. Make sure you've got a reading book. If you don't, find some time to read or join the library. Make sure you're still doing lots and lots of reading over the summer. Next one, Mr. Feltham. You've mentioned this already, but...
So, yeah, just then again about the stationery. Make sure that you buy your equipment and that you have a nice pencil case to bring to school and that you've got all the things on the stationery list because you will need it for the first day that we start back. So make sure you bring that on your first day.
Yep. If you decide you'd like to apply for one of the year 6 roles, you need to start on your application. You don't have to apply for one, so if you don't fancy being head boy or head girl or a prefect or a sports captain, that's absolutely fine. But if you do, you've got a nice long summer to work on your speech. So check the website next week, after next week, for some help with that.
Yep.
And the last one, Mr. Feltham.
So the last one is because we are the Sharks. We want, Miss Layton and I have been talking about being the Sharks, and we want to make everybody else kind of wish that they were in the Sharks class. So we're going to really promote the Sharks this year. So what we'd like for September is if you could bring something to school that was shark themed. So this could be anything. This could be a book, a toy shark, a cushion, a painting. You can make something and we'll have it up in display in the classroom. We're also on about like trying to sneak sharks around the school.
The Sharks class just has to be everything. You guys know I always have the best class. So our class is going to be the best class and we're going to absolutely smash the Sharks. So yeah, I think this is really fun. I'm going to get a shark hat, Mr. Feltham.
That sounds amazing.
And a shark dress.
I might just paint myself like a shark and come as a shark on the first day.
Maybe we could just do a shark face paint every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's have a look at these questions. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Let me just check that's the end. Yeah, that is the end. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. What am I doing, guys? I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on, there we go.
It's Friday, Miss Layton. It's
Sorry,
past
guys.
3:30.
So let's have a look at some of these questions.
Shall we go from the top, Miss Layton?
I'll go back to the start. So,
I saw that Ruby F had the first question.
yeah, Ruby said, does our diary need dates in or just lined paper?
It definitely needs dates in, because what we're going to do is because when you're at secondary school, you get homework on different days. So we're going to try, and you're going to be the first year sixers to do this, of giving you homework on different days, so you get used to time management. So yeah, it definitely needs to be dated. The ones that are the best, the ones that have like a week, over 2 pages.
This is my diary, guys. This is too big for you. I would say you need one that's about half the size of this, if that. You can have one that's this big, or one that you can get ones that are even smaller, about this big. I'll put some examples on the website to help you. You can get them from the pound shop though, from Poundland. Doesn't need to be anything fancy, but definitely needs dates in it.
And they're not just for homework as well, like they're for everything. So if you know, for example, that we've given you a letter for a trip, you can write it in your diary and say when we want the letter in by. So it's just like a really good way to start reminding yourselves to do things and manage your time efficiently.
Hashtag growing up.
Exactly.
Better get organised, guys. I write everything in my diary. Next one. So Ju said, will we experiment with organs?
Yeah, so actually, just recently, a few weeks ago, with my current year sixers, we did a heart dissection, which was a bit gross, but it was really, really interesting. So we do a topic all about the circulatory system in year 6, and we do a heart dissection.
Oh, goodness me. Bit of science.
No.
Can I reuse my pencil case? Yep. I was clearing out the classroom. I found some pencil cases. I'll try and take some photos. I'm going to school on Tuesday. I'll take some photos of the pencil cases I find. And if you say it's yours, I'll leave it in the office with a post-it note on to go and collect it next week. Are we allowed to hug our friends? Because we'll be in a bubble together, I think the rule is that we don't need to social distance between the children. So if Sophia wanted to hug Scarlett, that will be okay. But if you wanted to go and hug someone in year 4, you can't do that at the minute. We need to just keep it to ourselves.
Yeah, we can't really be near people in year 4 whilst we're at school. So we'll just, what will probably happen like when we first go back, is that we'll just spend a lot of time with each other as a group. Yeah.
Which will be weird, but it's fine. I mean, we spend most of our time in our class anyway, so just be straight.
Well, I've literally spent the past 6-7 weeks with just 15 children in my group, and it's actually just been really nice. We've really kind of bonded, so it's a nice thing as well.
So hopefully that answers your question, how do we play together as well? So at playtime, you'll go out in your group as a year 6 class, and you'll play with just year 6 children. Mm-hmm. What about clubs? I don't think clubs are going to happen in autumn. I was speaking to Miss Beeman. She doesn't think clubs will happen in autumn, but maybe after Christmas. So it might be that maybe between Mr. Feltham and I, we could set up a year 6 club one day after school. But it would just be for our bubble. So maybe that's something Mr. Feltham and I can think about.
Yep. Also in year 6, something to look forward to is you have the year 6 common room that you can go into at lunch times. So that'll be really exciting. I'll have to see about that.
What does our handwriting have to look like?
Wait, I have a question. About the common room. But what is the common room?
Good question. So the common room is a room, if you don't want to go outside and play, like you're allowed to come inside, and you have like a room where you can like play board games, you can bring games in, you can do art instead. So it's a room where, like, as year 6ers, because you're the top of the school, you get that privilege to be able to go into a room and do different things if you don't want to stay outside.
So exciting. What does our handwriting have to look like? It has to be neat and joined up, guys.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Silly question, Ruby J. Come on. I'm excited to be with my friends. That's nice. Let me look at some other questions. Ruby J had so many questions. There's some more at the bottom, I think. We've got a couple of new ones. Do we have to do 2 speeches if we're applying for 2 roles? No, you can just do 1 speech, and you can include everything that's relevant to either role in your speech, because most things would apply to all the roles, and you can talk about specific things as well. Can I bring a shark writing and colour it in? Ruby J, that doesn't make sense. What do you mean?
No, when Mr. Fathom said you can bring in anything. Yeah, I wanted to ask if I can bring like a shark writing, like put like have a big sheet of paper and write like sharks, and then color it all in the paper.
Like a
Oh, that
poster?
sounds like a lovely idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I love that idea, Ruby. That sounds really good. I look forward to seeing it.
Any more questions?
Another question just came in. It said, where will the room be? So that will be so Miss Layton's room, your classroom, is going to be the spare classroom next year. So the common room will be what will be your old classroom.
Ooh. Don't know. You can help. In fact, it might be good if we could all set it up together in September. That might be a nice task for us to do.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
you've seen the state of it, and maybe you guys could have some input on like where we have tables, what things we have in there.
I have a beanbag in my house that I'm not using anymore, so I might bring the beanbag.
Ooh,
Like, it'd be nice to get like a few like comfy, nice things like that, wouldn't it?
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Exciting.
So yeah, we can sort that out properly in September.
Any more questions, guys? You could unmute yourselves and tell me how happy you are for next year. Let me hear you.
Who's excited? Put your thumbs up if you're excited. Yay!
I'm so excited.
Excellent.
You all feel calmer now and ready and more prepared and less worried about September.
Yeah.
Good. I know it's so stressful not knowing who your teachers are going to be, because Miss Layton and I and Maria and Sabrina all feel stressed when we don't know who we're teaching as well. So that's like completely normal to feel like that. And the day that we find out, we're all nervous as well and have butterflies in our tummies.
It's really stressful, isn't it? Miss Schooneman just tell us for ages, and we're like, when will we find out? When will we find out?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I've not done the list yet. It's not final. I still need to sort things out, and it's so stressful. So we completely.
Especially this year.
Yeah.
Oh, so stressful.
This year.
I was scared I was going to be asked to teach nursery. Didn't happen, thank goodness. I don't think I'd be very good down there.
All right, guys. Does anyone have something they want to say?
They look so all grown up, by the way.
I know you do, guys. So grown up.
Some of us get some good haircuts. Well, let's see Hashton's hair. Hashton's had a haircut now.
I'm getting my haircut tomorrow. Yay! Can't wait, because that's why I'm wearing a hat, because my hair's too long.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Have a lovely weekend.
Yes.
It was very nice seeing you.
Bye, everybody. Nice to see you.
Bye.
See you
Sean.
soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
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 See you soon. Last week.
Bye.